You know any good local Bristol sayings, Abs?
Bristol sayings?
Yeah, Bristol.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
I've got to learn how to be one of the locals now. I don't know if that's actually a Bristolian accent. It's like the West Country. Hello everyone, welcome to season 2, and things have started off very, very well. I'm excited. I told you, I thrive at championship management, but put me up against actually anyone good, and yeah, I'm a bit rubbish. I am basically Mikero Gunnar Solskjaer. Don't write lies about me and the players, Abs. Don't write lies, and by that I mean, don't tell us that we're good. So, what has happened then over the summer? It's been a very, very busy time. I've obviously made a few transfers, but not as many as you may think, considering I don't have a big budget. Or maybe I'm better at teams that don't have much of a budget. I really would be a good Liverpool manager. So let's quickly start off with the sales, as we always do. Naki Wells has gone, sold him for 500k down to Millwall, and actually he looks like he's had a pretty good start, but that's because he's in League One. Can't believe that Millwall got relegated. He'll thrive at that level, but not at ours. I've replaced him with someone much better. Same can be said for Omri Saivet. He's a player that's always just caught me off a little bit. He was at Newcastle for years, but just like never played. You can tell from 2015 to 2021, only ever played 5 times and scored 1 goal. What a waste of a career. Weird. But he's at Burton, sold for 600k. Cameron Pring has gone to Huddersfield, sold him for 500k as well. And I also sold Albert Adoma. He was for about 38k, so... Phil Barsley's also gone. He's gone to Ulsan, which is out in Korea. I'm sure he'll thrive there with his thick Scottish accent. Anyway, facetious comments out of the way. Let's move on to the actual signings then. So first things up is I bought in Cole Palmer. A lot of people will probably know about Cole Palmer because he's had a little bit of... Well, they had one good game for City and now apparently he's the next Oracle. But actually he is quite good, to be fair. He can play anywhere along that midfield section. I said last year, defensively, I was pretty happy with the team. Same in the midfield, but it was up front and in the attacking positions that I think that we really, really needed to strengthen. We've done that. I brought in Cole Palmer. He's actually not really playing the first team. He's yet to actually make a start. He's come off the bench 3 times and he has got himself a goal, which is pretty good. It was in the last game as well, so he may well get a little bit more time, but can play as an attacking mid on the right or in the centre. Actually, a little bit on the left as well. Got a lot of really nice attributes. Definitely physically looks very good and a very technical footballer. I'm excited. I actually only had made 5 signings over the summer. This is the second of them, and it's Harry Chapman. Was a player that I was kind of tempted to bring in a while back on a couple of FM saves on the lower league bit, but this is the first time I decided to pick him up. He's not made a very good start. He's got a lot of potential, but at 24 years old, I really start to need to see some of it coming out. You look at him, he's got all the attributes really that you would want in a player at this level to succeed. He's very quick. Strength is a bit poor, but he's got decent technicals where he needs them. His mentals are solid where they need to be. Just not a very good performer, but I bought him in on a free, so it wasn't the end of the world, and it's a bit of a risk-free one. I'm only paying him 6.75k as well, so it's a risk-free all reward sort of transfer. Now on to the ones where I actually made some money, apart from one other free signing, who is probably the best player that I bought, and we'll get onto him in a minute. But I signed in Sam Byram. A player that a lot of people will know because he's obviously played in the Premier League for West Ham. He's played for Norwich occasionally. He started off at Leeds where he made most of his appearances in his career. It's sort of tailed off a little bit since then. I can't believe he's 28 years old now. It only feels like a few years ago or so that he was like an 18-year-old. But he's very well-rounded for this level. He obviously stands out as a good right-back, which is something I did think that I needed, really. It allows me to put Weimar back into the middle of the park, but he's injured. We'll get onto that in a minute. But you can also play left-back, so it covers for the fact, obviously, that I sold Pring. So I'm hoping that he'll play well. He's made a decent start. He's already got 1 assist to his name in 2 appearances, but then he got injured. He's out for 2 weeks. So it is Sam Byram. Why was I surprised? In all fairness, Byram was actually the only player I actually bought in for any money. I bought in Nat Phillips. I know I said I was defensively quite happy, but when I saw the fact I could get Nat Phillips on loan, I couldn't help but not get a little bit excited by it. He's just a really, really good centre-back. He's already played at 7.1. He'll win everything in the A. He's obviously very tall, as we know. I was so impressed with him last year when he stepped in when Liverpool really needed someone at the back. I think he could potentially be a Premier League player. He's got 15 pros to 4 cons. He's brilliant. He can do and win everything. Heading of 16 stands out. Bravery of 16 stands out. He's obviously very good physically. A decent player. Ignore the down arrows. It's literally because he's getting used to our sort of training, I'd like to think. But obviously, you're probably looking at this and going, Mike, you haven't sorted out the striker issue, have you? Oh, but I have. And he might only be a short-term solution, but Diego Falcinelli has been absolutely insane since I brought him in. You can tell it. He's got 6 goals in 7 appearances in the Carabao Cup and in the Championship. He is so well-rounded and so well-versed in so many different areas. He's pretty tall. He's physically amazing for this level. He's mentally amazing for this level. And his technicals are pretty much just around about where you want them to be for this. He's made an absolutely brilliant start. He links the play. He's already got 3 Man of the Match awards. He's absolutely insane. And I'm hoping that today he can show you what he's made of as we take on Sunderland in the Championship, which we currently sit 3rd in, which is a very, very big improvement. You can tell there he's the highest average rated player in the league so far. He is also tying for the most amount of goals in the Golden Boot race. It's been pretty good, but we're up against a lot of really good players. And Newcastle got relegated, which is incredible. Bournemouth are still here. Ipswich have made a really good start since coming up. Burnley are down here as well. It's going to be tough, but Sunderland obviously have come up. Palace came down as well. So lots of really good teams in there. My aim personally is to try and get in the top half, maybe even sneak a playoff position. In the season preview, we're meant to finish 18th. So the fact that we've made such a great start at, being this high up is amazing. You can tell that that's because this is what happens now in the Championship, is that it's so hard to get out with a lot of the Premier League teams come down. I mean, Newcastle are odds on 1-91 to get back up. They've got Raul Jimenez, obviously. They've got Wilson. They've got Pablo Mari. They've got Luca Digne. They should absolutely walk this league. If they don't, it's an absolute travesty. But we'll be taking on their North East rivals, Sunderland. Jordan Henderson. Where you, lad? I mean, I can't do the accent. If you watch my Newcastle Twitch save, which you really should do, you'll know that I'm terrible at doing that accent. But this is how the team lines up now, and I do feel that we're in the position where I can finally sort of play my kind of football. I can play that sort of control possession, keep it calm, keep it casual kind of play. So what I've done at the moment, I've got Bentley in goal, De Silva, Atkinson, Phillips and Weimer make up the back 4. So very, very solid at the back. Then you've got Bakinson and Williams still in the middle, making a very good midfield pivot, with O'Dowda on the left, who's made a very good start to the season. Alex Scott is still in the middle. Then you've got Weimer on the right, with Falcinelli up front. Alex Scott's carrying a bit of a knock, but I need to try and get him through this. If not, it's alright, I'll bring on Cole Palmer. Obviously, I have no real idea where we're meant to finish in the league, to be honest. We're meant, like, technically, according to the season preview, to be in 18th or so. I think that would be a real disappointment, because I think we're better than that. But I could be wrong. I usually am about these things. We've been so good at being very kind of like calm, easy, on the eye recently. We score a lot more goals, which is something good. Weimer makes a really good tackle there. Now off we go. Come on, boys. Let's not muck about. Weimer. We've got a lot more pace in the team now. I mean, it's a great run by Weimer, but I would have appreciated it if he'd passed the ball at some point. Probably would have been a good idea. Neil hits a ball over the top, and now Weimer's well out of position as Myers gets on the ball, drifts towards the far side, plays into Pritchard, he plays it back to Evans. Sunderland playing some good stuff here. I recently had a very kind of like disappointing result against Ipswich, where we drew with them 1-1. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, they're high flying. So it might be a bit, it's very similar to us, it might be a momentum thing, but it was a little disappointing, considering the talent that I've got, and then the fact that they're newly promoted. You always feel like you should beat a newly promoted side. As De Silva whips it in, and there is Rob Atkinson to get his first of the season, his first one I believe for me on camera, and it's his first goal for Bristol City, so there you go. Lovely header into that at the back post, great ball in by Jay De Silva, who I've said should be called up by Wales, but Rob Page apparently knows better. Get rid of Gareth Bale and let's see what a good manager you are, mate. God, we're up to second. De Silva, another corner, whips it in. Atkinson should have had 2. He should have had 2. Scott, not a good ball there as Evans picks it up, and Neustadter hits it back to Fisher, who hits it long. Go on that, win that all day, mate. Oh, Atkinson, casual, walking backwards. Never ever let the ball bounce, but he did there, and I'll let it slide because it worked. De Silva to O'Dowda. Go on, mate, use your pace. O'Dowda Good ball. Whips it in. Falcinelli heads it and it goes wide. I mean, if that's worth a highlight, then this is going to be a long, long game. Well, it's hard to say. We're not having a good game at the moment. De Silva's a little bit tired, as is Scott. I expected that. Nat Phillips has kind of gotten over his knock. So we're doing well to get shots away, keep going. I'd appreciate it if we could just get a second, kind of wrap this game up, because good as we are at the back, I know that there is always the opportunity for teams to score on FM. It doesn't matter how well you defend, teams will always get a chance. So if we could get a second, that'd be much appreciated. Baconson played all the way back to Atkinson then, who drives forward. Good through ball there to De Silva. Pick a man out. He finds O'Dowda, who heads it wide. I mean, we get a lot of good crosses in, which is good because Falcinelli's pretty good in the air. Scott's not having a good game, so he's going to have to come off, I think. I think the injury is a little bit too much for him. So off comes Alex Scott. On comes Cole Palmer in that advanced playmaker role. Let's see what the young man has got in his locker. Now this is an area we've been a lot better at, is in this from set pieces. Palmer hits it. Oof! As I say, but Falcinelli's already scored one. Jay De Silva's already scored one this year from a free kick situation. So we're a lot better in that scenario than we used to be. De Silva's played really well, but he is struggling. So do I take him off? Right, Rob Atkinson's going to go and sit at left back. And I brought on Thomas Callas, and he can go into the middle. I mean, Newcastle are beating Stoke 6-0. 6-0. Viner on the ball. Drifts wide. Good ball in. Falcinelli. Nearly. He's neither offside. I didn't think he was. Nearly 4 minutes of added-on time up. Don't you dare. Embleton whips it in. Great header away. Do not concede now, boys. Not with 16 seconds to go. Brown to Neil. Good play by Viner to Vyman. Kick it out. Williams. Great ball to Cole Palmer. Palmer chips it over the top. Falcinelli's going to get there first. Go on, mate. To the corner. Hold it up, boy. Falcinelli, he whips it in. Back post. He's spilt it. Williams, it's it, son. Williams drifts out wide. He's going to hold the ball up. No, he whips it in. Baconson. Palmer. Cole Palmer gets his second of the season. We do get a second to finish the game off. I love the fact that we kept going for a second. I don't love it. If we conceded, I'd be fuming. But Cole Palmer gets yet another goal. Well done, that man. Bristol City, maybe ones to watch out for. We're second in the league. It's been a really good start. Everybody apart from Falcinelli played at 7, and apart from Alex Scott, obviously. But very, very good indeed. That is a solid win. Phillips is injured out for 6 to 8 days with a twisted knee. Lee Johnson's disappointed by his humbling defeat. We make it 8 unbeaten. We have not lost in the league yet this season. Don't worry, that'll change by the time that we come back. And I think what we'll do is actually you can come back then for... Let's come back for the games against Cardiff and Coventry, which are towards the... Well, it's in October, so by then the transfer window will be over. I don't see myself making any signings. But by then we'll also play some other kind of like big-ish teams. We'll play Burnley in there. But you know what? Looking at the run of fixtures, there's a lot of teams in there I do think that we could potentially beat. We could still be in a very good position come the start of October. Who knows? Who knows? That Newcastle-Bournemouth one there, along with Reading, that is a massive month in November. That's a huge month. But we will see how we get on. All I can say is thank you so much for watching the episode today. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please drop a like on the episode. Share, subscribe, do all those wonderful things. The main save will be starting soon, but don't worry, the beta will still probably be ongoing, just maybe to a lesser extent. I'm not 100% sure. I cannot wait to get stuck into the full game with Billericay, and I can't wait to see where we go in Bristol City. It's all going to be very, very exciting. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and until I see you again, stay cool.